No. No. No, say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. It can't be. This can't be real. No. This is a dream. This is a really bad dream. No. It can't be real. Harada, why? Why would you do this? No. No. Don't. Please. Not Tekken. Not you too. Why? Oh my god. This is aggressiveness. Harada says. Why? This is a fucking red flag. I'm not thrilled. Encourages aggressive play. When you hear shit like this, that's a bad sign. That's a fucking enormous red flag. Okay. Look at this shit. This mechanic is the new heat system. Okay, and I'm not reading all this shit. Let me see. It has to be some kind of meter. Right? Get the fuck out of my face. Get this out of my face. This is some kind of meter. Right? He does this shit. Goofiness ensues. I hate 2D characters. Everyone fucking hates 2D characters. And one thing I joke about a lot when I'm just getting fucking tilted at 2D nonsense from Goose Howard and Akumis and shit, alright, is I lose my fucking mind, right, when I'm finally dive kicking my ass. And there's nothing I can do, okay? She just plus. She could just do that, right? And the joke is you say, oh, it's fair that they can do that these 2D characters can get bullshit, because they spent a bar. And I say, they're adding meter into the game, and it's going to be a universe mechanic. Here's the thing. Part of the reason I like Tekken, part of the reason a lot of people like Tekken, is because it doesn't have bullshit. There's no bullshit. Or there used to be. There used to be bullshit. There's a lot of bullshit now. But if there's no meter, there's no jumps, there's no fireballs, there's no voodoo fucking bullshit that goes on my ass and I just die instantly. It's honest, grounded footsies. In my opinion, Tekken is my favorite fighting game. Tekken is the best fighting game. Meter is not what you come here for. Encourages aggressive play. This is never good. You hear something like this is never good. This means encouraging bullshit. You know, you can't stop shit, right? As Sanford said, I stop things. That's what I do. In the interview with Rob TV, he says, I stop things. That's what I do, right? And that was his complaint about Street Fighter V, is you can't stop things. I know it's gonna happen, I know it's gonna come, and I can't stop it. That's exactly what this mechanic is, it looks like. Because what this looks like to me is you get meter, probably from getting your ass kicked, seeing how Rage works, and the current trends with how meter systems work within the last couple of years. You get your ass kicked, you get meter, and you can do a move, and then you can basically spend said meter to get, I guess, a drive rush, essentially, or RC, or something like that, right? Where you just do it, and then your guy dashes forward, and he gets to cancel his bullshit into bullshit. There's nothing you can do about that. You can't do shit about this. This motherfucker can just go forward 2 into this shit, and he's plus, you know. And there's this kind of, you know, joke in KOF, right, where You say, oh, how do I anti-air in KOF? How do I stop people from jumping in King of Fighters, right? And the answer is jump first. And that's exactly what this mechanic does. That's exactly what this mechanic will do. If this is what it is, you know, where it's just, you know, how do I stop fucking EX bullshit into my ass and then I get 50-50 by Kazuya? Because he spent the bar, so it's fair. How do I stop that? Well, do it first. EX bullshit into his ass first. Do it. That's not fun. Having both players just run at each other trying to fucking get their heat shit is stupid. And meter is just, I don't like meter. Alright? I don't think it's... Meter doesn't make things instantly more interesting. You know? If it's used in just such a one-dimensional way. If there's really only one way to use meter, it's not interesting. There needs to be a variety of ways, and they need to be pretty much all equally as viable in order for meter to be interesting. And just a lot of times, meter is just not interesting. You know, a lot of times it's just, you know, I do this and I blow my load, and you take a bunch of damage. That's how like Guilty Gear and a lot of anime games work, and Street Fighter also. Or it's just like certain characters in Street Fighter, they do this, and now you're going to guess. And that's how this meter works. You know, that's how Laura works. That's how Cody works. And I don't like that. I don't like that where it's like, oh, he spent the bar and now he can fuck your ass. You know, that's how Lisa works. That's how a lot of this shit works. You know. It's ridiculous, though. Be aggressive. Don't be passive. You're being a bitch. Don't be passive. Don't just sit there. Don't fucking try and actually play neutral. That's for pussies. Be aggressive. Fucking forward to him before he forward twos you. And then just be plus there. And then fucking, I don't know, hatchet kick or some shit. Yeah, he just, when you get that where it's just like, oh, you can just, you know, the strat is be aggressive before they get aggressive. That's how you get shit like Smash Bros. That's like Smash Bros ideology. Alright? Where you always want to be on the offense because it's significantly stronger. And when it's significantly stronger, that's how you get games that are just random. That are just bullshit. That it's just, you know, fucking... You can't stop anything. And you're both running at each other just fucking being hooligans. And I don't know, we don't know exactly the extent of how this heat system works. Maybe it's just this cancel thing. Maybe they just saw fucking Street Fighter 6 and thought, oh wow, this would be cool. Let's put in fucking Drive Rush ourselves. I don't know, but it doesn't look like that's what they like. Tekken is not this kind of game. Tekken works without meter. It was designed without meter. I hit them. I should have earned it, right? If they hit me, they should have earned it. In a good game, if I'm fighting someone better, they should win more times than I do. And in a game like Tekken, where there's no chip, there's no meter, where there shouldn't be, God forbid, it really boils down to that. Playing better is how you win. But this shit just allows me to... I could be playing knee. He knows I'm gonna just run up and forward 2, and maybe you can sidestep it. Maybe you can't. You probably don't want to sidestep it because I might hit you with some kind of tracking move. I don't know if I'm playing Brian, all right, and I'm doing on. I could just do forward Mach Punch, forward 2, or forward 4, Mach Kick. You don't want to sidestep Mach Kick, do you? So I could just do that, and if I'm doing that, I can just do that and go in and get in for free. I did not play on the same caliber as Nate. I'm just plus because I spent the bar. It's fair because I spent the bar. Now everyone has it, so it's a bit more fair than, you know, the 2D characters in Tekken 7. But this mechanic isn't here to build upon the mechanics that Tekken is made upon. You know, Tekken is not meant to have meter. You know, and it's like they want a casual audience. Fine, okay. Make your game look fucking appealing. That's it. Single player content. That's it. They're not gonna do that because they're lazy. But you gotta do meaningless, dumb shit like single player content stuff to make new players want to come, because they don't give a fuck about the gameplay, dude. They don't give a fuck about the gameplay. They don't give a fuck about this heat rush mechanic. They really don't. Casual players, they just want a game that looks nice and feels nice and they can understand. And if you give them the resources to understand, other than just play ranked and get your ass kicked by smurfs and fucking morons in low ranks forever, who are just using one or two gimmicks, then they won't understand. You know, like I said, Street Fighter 6 is doing is good. That's how you get a casual audience. That's how you make a good game. It's not complicated. You know, they haven't changed the formula since like Tekken 3, right? You know, and every installment, just add new characters, update the graphics, and put some new moves on some old characters. That's it. That's all they gotta do, and it works. It's been working. This game's a lot bigger than most other fighting games, and that's for a reason. Because it fucking works. But shit like this is not how you do it. You know, completely changing the game. This isn't that big of a deal, I don't think. Like, it is. It's stupid. And I'll probably still play Tekken 8. And then I'll get hit with some racist ass shit. Like fucking, dude, demon paws into fucking heat rush into my ass. And I lose because of that. Because I have to eat a 50-50. And that sucks. But this shit just, it's a downward spiral, you know. It doesn't set a good precedent. And Tekken, and this is gonna be like the Street Fighter 5 of Tekken, right? This game's gonna, no Tekken player, if it's like this, if this game's gonna be like what I think it's gonna be, no Tekken player is gonna like this shit, and guess where they're gonna go? Street Fighter 6. And fucking, I guess I'm just psychic or something, because I started switching to Street Fighter 5, because Street Fighter 6 was around the corner, right? And, you know, now I don't play Tekken hardly ever anymore. But I still like it. I still want Tekken 8 to be good. I mean, I'll play it. But, I don't know, nobody's gonna like this shit. Nobody's gonna like these dumbass mechanics. People tolerated rage, right? And now this is the next step. And before long, everyone's gonna be like fucking Akuma in Tekken 7, and it's gonna be stupid. There's gonna be chip and shit, and it's just gonna be another 2D fighting game that sucks ass because it's not supposed to be a 2D fighting game. I don't know what the fuck they're thinking. And if trying to get a casual audience, be more aggressive and stuff, I can't imagine they're not going to try and simplify shit at all. You know, they're going to make like Electric Wind God Fist have like a 3-frame window to input. Another thing with this is Harada says some bullshit like when in a high level play, right, if there's two really good players, they would have these like stare downs, right? He said like stare downs, alright? It basically implied that shit isn't hype, that viewers don't want to see that. But like, I don't know, maybe this is biased because I come from a perspective of understanding the game, and maybe people who don't understand the game don't care as much or don't like that as much. But These in quotation, stare downs, where like neither players are really like being aggressive. I guess I find those hype. Those tense moments in between the matches are what I think is hype. Because what they're appealing to is people who just want to see the other guys hit each other. And that's not what it's about. It's about the gameplay. It's about the fucking, it's about the mind games, the strategy behind the players. It's not about the scrambles. It's not about the dudes hitting each other. The most hype moments of anything, not just Tekken, but also, Street Fighter and stuff when watching, that is, the defense. The defense, I think, is more entertaining than the offense, at least for me. Seeing the self-control and the reads and whatnot, that shit is hype. That, I think, is the real hype shit. When, you got Kazuya or whatever, alright? Wave dashing, when you got someone wave dashing in some other dude's face, and this self-control coming from the other player getting wave dash pressured, that shit's hype. Because it's like, and same thing with like Street Fighter, when one player's sitting in the corner and the other player goes in, like, shimmies them like 4 or 5 times, and the other guy doesn't press a button, right? That shit's hype, because it's so tense, and they're like one hit away in either of these scenarios, and everyone's just sitting there losing their fucking minds, because it's like, anything can happen. Those are the tense moments that make shit hype, the build-up, because it's kind of like, the guys hitting each other, that shit, the other dudes getting in, that's the climax. That's the, that's the payoff. But before that, that's what makes the game hype. That's what makes the set hype, is those tense moments where neither players are hitting each other, where they're fucking with each other's mind, those little interactions in neutral, the wave dash pressure, the footsies, the fucking, the shimmies and shit, and the self-control from both players. That's the tense build-up that makes a set hype. If it's just guys scrambling around and throwing hands with each other and shit, that's not hype, Like, it's like watching a street fight. Those videos of street fights where they're just two dudes fucking swinging at each other, throwing haymakers, right? That shit's it's entertaining, yeah. Like, it's like ooh, fucking, they're swinging. One dude got knocked the fuck out, and usually the most entertaining part is like the environment that they're in. They're in the street, in a school fucking hallway, a fucking school bathroom, shit like that. That's what makes that more entertaining, and the people around them just like dumbfounded in the fuckery and shenanigans going on. But like, they're never hype. It's never hype. A street fight isn't very hype. There's no build-up. There's no tense moments, because neither of the fighters are thinking, they're just throwing hands. But in like a UFC fight, the fighters are they're trained. They're trying to get the advantage on each other, and they're thinking about it. It's more than just a fight to them. It's also kind of like a game. And that's what it's like in this. And this heat mechanic pretty much invalidates the whole concept of wave dash pressure. If I'm playing Kazuya, why would I wave dash pressure when I can just run in, fucking heat rush some shit and 50-50? Why even bother with that? It's much more rewarding to do that. We don't know how fast this meter builds. We don't know how much you get to use it, but it exists. So I think you're gonna see a lot less, neutral, a lot less, wave dash, a lot less, wave dash pressure, and also, Jesus, look at fucking King. God damn, this dude is hitting the sauce. Anyway, I digress. But what the fuck was I even talking? I lost track so hard, dude. This motherfucker is so juiced. This dude made Chris Bumstead look like a little boy. Alright, hold on, let me switch off this panel. That's gonna keep distracting me. When you add a mechanic, it needs to add depth to the game. you know? It needs to add something to the game. This mechanic removes depth. This does the opposite. You know, to appease who? Audiences when they watch the game? I don't know, dude.